My father married his affair partner.
Oh, that's not the person you're supposed to marry.
Trigger warning, emotional abuse. My 18 female dad's wife has been very difficult for me to deal with, and it has made coming to terms with the past much more painful for me. I really need advice on how to handle the situation and how to set boundaries so I don't have to deal with the same problems over and over. By the way, this comes from Should Really Be Asleep. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
And OP says, oh, Riley's too hot.
Riley's too hot for camera.
So OP says, my dad and stepmom got married almost 5 years ago, and I've become overwhelmed and exhausted by the emotional effort required to maintain a relationship with my father while keeping things peaceful with stepmom. I live with my mom in a different state than my dad. I visit him 3 to 4 times a year, wanting nothing more than to spend quality time with my dad and younger brothers. But without fail, every single visit in the past 5 years, stepmom has thrown a complete fit.
What does the fit go hard though?
Yeah, that's the question. Now, I feel intense anxiety about going to my dad's house. It has made visiting my family incredibly difficult. I want to see them often to maintain good relationships, but seeing her stresses me out beyond explanation. Every visit, I do my absolute best to be respectful. I engage her in conversations, keep my space immaculate, run errands for her, and always express gratitude for anything she does for me. While I show her respect, I maintain boundaries because she and my dad had an affair. Ooh, yikes.
Yikes. I don't understand how a parent can, expect a child to just be cool with that.
Yeah,
ever.
they're like, yeah, cheat on your mom.
Here she is. She's going to be in charge of you.
It's something I'm still working through, and I think it'll take a lot of time to get past. It has made trusting both of them very difficult. I've made it clear that I will respect her, but I don't want her to try and act like we're close or like she's my mom, and that I don't want a tight relationship with her at this time. I think that's reasonable, though I understand why she wouldn't be happy about it. Despite making my boundaries clear, she always finds a way to cross them, leaving me feeling defeated. Every trip follows the same pattern. First, she's aggressively nice, offering me tons of money, which I always refuse.
Take it.
Take the money.
Take her money.
Take the money. If she's gonna stomp all over your boundaries anyway, take the money.
Take the money.
And then just be like, this doesn't change anything.
Yeah, just don't even say that. Just take it and know it changes nothing.
And telling me she's going to do everything for me so I can relax. Over the next few days, she gets frustrated because I won't open up as much as she wants and realizes she can't buy my forgiveness and affection. This is when she starts taking jabs at my mom, calling my younger brothers her sons, knowing this bothers me, and constantly asking my opinion just to disagree with me. I can tell she's on edge, trying to pick a fight, which makes me avoid her. That leads her to tell my dad I'm being disrespectful and won't acknowledge her. Which isn't true. I just spend more time in my room to avoid trouble. Stepmom bugs my dad about how I'm not being nice to her, putting him on edge too. Soon both stepmom and my dad are worked up, and they usually get in a full-blown rage fight while I'm there, screaming, throwing things, stomping around, and it makes me incredibly uncomfortable because I hate seeing my dad upset, and he's usually irate with me since I'm apparently the cause of her behavior. Great.
Yeah.
Excellent parenting,
It's all
Dad.
your fault. Clearly.
It's all your fault.
Clearly,
I know I cheated
all
on
of
your
this
mom.
is your fault, 18-year-old daughter, and not my fault for marrying my affair partner.
No siree. Glad we cleared that up. After the blowout, things come down for a day or two with everyone laying low. But soon enough, stepmom regains energy to stop sulking and continues pursuing ways to upset me. She constantly needs attention and makes me feel like I have to compete for my own dad. Through all this, I usually manage to push through to the end of my trip with my sanity intact and without saying anything that would further damage our relationship. My Thanksgiving trip was the breaking point. All the usual drama had happened, but this time she wouldn't leave me alone. 4 days into my visit, she was discussing religion with some missionaries she'd invited over from my church. She'd always been vocal about having no interest in my religion, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I just want her to respect my beliefs, since my religion is something I hold in high importance and cherish deeply. She engaged with the missionaries and began making false accusations against my church, knowing full well they were far-fetched. I'm convinced she said these things not to get the truth, but to get a reaction from me. Finally, I couldn't help but scoff at her absurdity. I know this was my mistake. I'm only human, and I immediately apologized for my rudeness. Despite this, my scoff sent her into a full tantrum. She screamed at me, telling me I needed to humble myself. How dare I laugh at her?
Stop being so funny.
You're just too dang funny. You should get on stage because you're a gosh darn comedian.
You're just a little a diamond in the rough with your humor.
Mm-hmm. And that she hated me and wouldn't stop attacking me with name-calling and low blows. All I did was scoff. I couldn't take it anymore and snapped. I started yelling back and ended up calling her a witch and telling her I hated her. This happened in front of our guests, and I'm still embarrassed by this interaction. Stepmom apologized the next day, telling me this was somehow my dad's fault and basically deflecting all accountability.
This is actually your dad's fault for marrying me.
I know he wasn't there, but I mean, if he didn't have an affair, we would never have had this fight.
This is actually
Kind of the butterfly effect.
first fish that crawled out of the ocean. It's its fault.
Yeah, certainly not mine.
The first mitochondria. It's the mitochondria's fault.
Actually, the Big Bang's fault. I didn't return the apology, which upset her even more since she'd only apologized to get one back from me. I left my dad's feeling incredibly bitter and sad. I'm exhausted by having to deal with this petty drama every single visit. I do my best to stay out of it, but I'm only human and eventually reach my breaking point. Stepmom has disrespected my space and feelings every time I visit, and I haven't done anything until that last visit to fuel an argument. I don't see this cycle ever ending and feel so hopeless. I don't want it to affect my relationship with my dad, but it already has. How can I move on from this mess? How can I communicate with someone as unreasonable as her? How can I ensure my next visit won't be full of drama? How do I have a healthy relationship with my dad with the resentment I have towards both of them? And what do I do next time so I won't leave feeling hopeless and sad? Stepmom is obviously insecure and it shows, making her almost impossible to reason with or communicate with. I really would appreciate any advice offered. Thank you. And there is an update, folks. But what's your advice for OP?
I mean, like, it's hard when you're 18, but you just have to care less about what this person who ultimately, like, doesn't have any control over you anymore, like, thinks.
I feel
Not
like
great advice, but it's like
Yeah.
literally just learning to, like, just be like, okay,
yeah, you just nod
whatever.
and ignore her.
Because your dad's not going to divorce her.
Yeah. My advice if you still want to be with have time with your dad is you're 18, so you don't have to stay over at their house anymore. Maybe invite your dad to do things outside of the house and just have that a really frank conversation about, you just can't have a relationship with your stepmom right now. It just isn't working. And I still want to have a relationship with you. So let's figure out a way we can do that outside of the house.
Yeah, if you do want that,
Yeah.
I think it should be pretty understandable to go like, hey, the woman you cheated on my mom with, I'm never going to really be cool with her.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's going to ever be cool with me because I won't be cool with her. So,
What are you going to do?
what do we
What are you
do
gonna do?
about that? Because you're also not the parent in this situation. You're the child. So you shouldn't have to be the one managing all of it.
Exactly. But there is an update. 3 years later. Whoa. Okay. So we're about to find out probably exactly what OP did. When I, now 21 female, was 14, my parents divorced, and my father, 45 male, married his mistress, 40s female. I'll nickname her La Toxica. 3 weeks after finalization. The very first time I stayed at my dad's house, I was sitting in my room on my phone while my dad was at work.
Dude, he married this woman 3 weeks after the divorce was finalized. That's
That's
crazy. That's like,
I read that, but I didn't absorb it.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't be cool with my dad.
I would never be cool. I would be like, Dad, I'm not coming to the wedding.
Yeah.
Did you go to the wedding?
I'd be so uncool.
La Toxica came into my room asking if we could discuss my parents' divorce. And I'd say, no.
Oh, how you
How you
home
had
wrecked
an
my
affair?
family?
With my father, I politely said I don't feel up to talking about it. Despite me setting that boundary, she sat on my bed and told me the divorce wasn't her fault and I had no right to blame her for anything.
Hey, I'm going to blame you for not getting out of my room right now.
Why are you in? I literally be like,
Sorry, why are you in my room?
Like straight up,
Who are you?
looking behind you, like, what? Who are you talking to? Because it's not me.
I didn't even completely blame her. I knew there was blame on my dad and even my mom. I told her again, I didn't want to talk about it. And she said we had to talk about it. When I refused again, I was forced to lock myself in the bathroom, where she knocked on the door for over an hour, yelling at me to come out.
Man,
I literally would never forgive that lady.
me at 18?
That becomes a physical confrontation.
Well, this isn't when OP was 18.
No, this is when they were 14.
Yeah.
Oh, even more so.
Yeah. After that incident, she's held a grudge against me for not accepting her, despite the fact that I was only 14 and simply did not want to talk about painful things at that time. Every visit since then, La Toxica finds petty things to get angry about. She has a clear double standard. My brothers leave stuff all over the house, and she picks up after them without complaints. But if I leave something out for a second, she accuses me of doing it to piss her off.
At that point, I'd be like, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
hate
right.
you.
I'm doing this
Does it?
exclusively to upset you.
Is it working? Are you furious?
Every moment of every day is a calculation to make you upset.
When I was 16, La Toxica accused me of laughing at her while she debated religion with guests. I wasn't even in the same room. I was texting friends with headphones in. She demanded I come downstairs, where she screamed and humiliated me in front of the guests. I eventually yelled back and told her, I hate you.
Te odio!
Which wasn't mature. You were 16, but still. She yelled at you in front of a bunch of people, and then you said, I hate you. Seems warranted. During quarantine, when I was 19, I stayed at my dad's for a month. He told me I could play his Nintendo Switch while there.
No way.
I asked everyone where it was, and they all said, no idea. I spent hours looking for it. The next day, my father told me his wife has been hiding it and lying because she didn't want me to play it. I said, it was super lame that she would lie. I wouldn't have cared if she told me I just couldn't play it. She overheard me and threw the Switch at me, saying she was sick of my attitude. She threw the Switch at you?
If I was OP,
I'm throwing hands.
there'd be a ding, ding, ding. There'd be like a bell. There would have already been a bell. When
Hey,
I'm locked in the bathroom and you pound
Yeah.
on the door, I'm opening that thing up. I'm saying, straight right. Okay. And then I'm back in the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying that's what I would have done at 14 if my dad's mistress is screaming at me that I need to talk to her about how she's not to blame for anything.
Yes. I responded, you didn't have to lie to me, that's all. I apologized for disrespecting her in her house, and she responded, remember, this is my house, not yours.
I'm pretty sure it's my dad's.
Pretty sure you're wrong about that, lady.
Yes.
Hours later, she cornered me in the kitchen, screaming that I was a hypocrite, that I'd lied before, so I had no right to call her out.
So the uppercut is you throw it with the elbow tucked in, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of back.
Jab,
You
jab.
come up with the back.
I asked her to back off because she was upsetting me, and she started condescendingly laughing, saying, I'm not going to back off in my house. I flipped her off, yelled, F you, and ran out. After that incident, I decided to never fuel the fire again. I started putting maximum effort into having a good relationship with her. I apologized for every single time I'd ever wronged her and let go of the past despite never receiving an apology back. In June, I cleaned the house multiple days, gave her compliments, offered to help. Despite being nice, she was extremely critical of how I dressed, telling me all of her friends think my family makes too much money for you to be dressing like that. I even bought new clothes to please her. My boyfriend came for the part of the trip, and she liked him, so she was on better behavior. After this trip, I felt like I could finally have peace. Here's where it gets bad again. In October, my dad took me to Florida with La Toxica and my younger brother. Heck ensued. Oh no. When I met them at the airport, she told me my outfit was horrible. I'm wondering, why did we go on this trip?
Because I think it's like, it's kind of like what I said about not caring, but instead it was like the opposite. Instead of not caring, you're like, I won't care to get mad. I'll just try to be the peacemaker.
Yeah.
Which is kind of almost not caring, but not quite.
The problem is that when you try and do everything to please her, you realize that there is nothing that you can
Yeah.
do to please her.
Exactly.
Because she's just going to keep raising the bar because she just doesn't like you.
if she's like, your outfit's horrible, I'm like, well, it certainly is horrible to sleep with a married man.
Yeah, every time.
Not something I've ever done.
Every time. You just hit her with that. Uno reverse.
Wow, where's my mom? I don't see her. She's not you.
Ooh.
Yeah,
and
you
then
just
go,
slept with my dad.
burn, every time. I didn't know it was expected to wear something nice on a red-eye flight.
Yeah, what is this, like the 50s? Like everyone has to wear a
Everyone's
suit
got to
onto
be
the
dressed
airplane?
up.
On your flights, you never know who you're gonna meet, Dakota. You never know. Could
Could
be
be the
Howard
president.
Hughes on the Howard Hughes could be flying that plane. Could be Marlon Brando. We're flying TWA.
So true. On the first night there, I was talking to my aunt about my grandma, and we were laughing about some of her ridiculous antics. It wasn't serious, and I didn't say anything hurtful about my grandma, or anything I wouldn't say to her face. These harmless comments about my grandma triggered La Toxica. The entire trip, she got angry at me for the pettiest things, interjected every time I talked to my dad, and was extremely passive-aggressive. She kept making comments like, I just love younger brother because he's genuine, while glaring at me.
I'd be like, I'm genuinely repulsed by you.
I genuinely hate you.
Be like, is your name Rita? Rita Repulsa? Aren't you supposed to be on the Power Rangers TV show?
Oh. I was incredibly distraught and cried the whole trip because I was so stressed she would lash out at me. I genuinely, I feel like if you're having these like types of stress reactions, don't go on trips with your stepmom.
Yeah.
If your dad says, hey, you want to come on a trip with the family? You say, is stepmom going to be there? And if he says yes, you go, well, no.
I feel like you're like one step removed from like the promised land nirvana of just
Yeah.
being like truly nothing you say holds any
You
weight.
can't affect me.
It's like, yeah, you are now the clown from It, and I am not afraid of you anymore.
Yep. And you're
You
laughing at him.
You can't get me.
After the trip, she had no idea why I was sad during it. She called me after one counseling session to explain that she should have communicated better, but I was the one in the wrong for criticizing my grandma.
You're not even related to her.
Yeah, I'd be like,
So peace, grandma.
who are you talking about?
I apologized because I wanted it to be over, but I told my dad I would never go on vacation with them again and that she would never regain my trust. Last week, I was on the phone with my brother. He had me on speakerphone but forgot to tell me. During the conversation, something came up about La Toxica, and I laughed and said she was so toxic. She was eavesdropping, and about an hour later sent me a text accusing me of still trash-talking about her. She claimed that she had been nice to me for 7 years, pointed out that I had asked her for money just a week prior, and said she thought we had resolved our issues. The truth is, I only ever ask her for money because my dad supports me through college, but insists I ask her instead of him. He says she likes the acknowledgement.
The acknowledgement of what? Just having someone else's money?
In reality, she's simply transferring me my dad's money, but I have no choice but to go through her.
You just asked me for money last week. Whose money was that?
Yeah, was it your money?
Whose money was
I
that?
didn't realize that you just got all of my father's assets.
Oh, are you his employee? Oh, so I'm confused. I thought you guys got married after you cheated with him. But no, I guess you're an employee.
Most of the time, I save up my own money just to avoid interacting with her. I replied to her, admitting that I shouldn't have said what I did. I explained that I was having a private conversation with my brother, but that it was still unacceptable. I told her I wouldn't make excuses, but I didn't feel she had been nice to me at all over the past 7 years, and that she had treated me in ways that were toxic. I admitted that I still resented her for mistreating me in the past, but I shouldn't have said unkind things and was sorry.
Bro, she was literally being the NSA on you right now. She was spying on you. You said that in a private conversation.
She sucks.
You should be like, I'm sorry you decided to eavesdrop and get your own feelings hurt.
I'm sorry that you are toxic, and I said that you were toxic.
You're doing it right now.
I mean, the sky's blue. What do you want me to say? You want me to lie? I also told her that I had only asked for money because my dad told me to. She responded by saying she had nothing else to say to me. Then she claimed that in the past, she had barely spoken to me and suggested I must only remember the negative things. Or maybe if you're barely speaking to her, then every time you're speaking to her, it's negative.
She would have just said, after she said, I have nothing else to say to you, I would have said, thank God.
Ooh,
I didn't think you were
glad.
ever going to shut up.
You just kept talking. She questioned when she had ever been toxic to me and claimed she was trying to remember any such time. Each of her texts were laced with passive-aggressive emojis. Her claims were completely false. I didn't avoid speaking to her. She was the one who constantly pestered me throughout my adolescence, forcing me into dozens of conversations I didn't want to have. I had no idea where she was getting the idea that she barely spoke to me. By the way, you can speak to us all the time if you listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. We just might not speak back.
We won't. We'll talk, though. We'll be yapping.
We'll be yapping a lot. There is a little bit left to this story. Do you have any final thoughts?
She's like, when have I been toxic? I'd be like, I don't know. I remember I was 14
Yesterday.
and I was locked in the bathroom for an hour because you just wanted to tell me that the affair wasn't your fault.
Yeah, I think you just go through all the times that you remember. You know, when I was 14, then one time when I was 16, then one time when I was 16 and a half, and then one time when I was 18.
Honestly, at the end of the day, all of this is like, because I would also have a problem with my dad. I'd be like, if y'all had like a shred of decency, y'all would have waited 6 months before you got married.
Please.
But you did it 3 weeks after. You're literally garbage. I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah. And also the fact that he keeps trying to pressure OP into having a relationship with her stepmom.
Yeah.
You know, like, one, he's trying to make OP go on these trips together, making her ask her stepmom for money.
Well, and he's paying for school, too.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess
he has
you can't
this hold
really,
over her.
obliterate that relationship.
Yeah.
But you certainly can after school.
Yes.
And he'll go, wait, what do you mean? I paid for your school. You'd be like, I wonder if this is how mom felt when she found out you were cheating on her.
Rug pull.
Just maybe. But there's a little bit left. I ended the exchange by telling her that she should figure it out on her own. I told her I had endured abuse from her since the moment I met her, wished her good luck, informed her I was blocking her, and told her not to contact me again.
Good.
Good job, OP. You got there. Took you a while. 10 years? We got there.
I would love to just bother her, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I get it that the blocking is the most peaceful, but she would just talk to me, and I just go like this. Ooh,
Cheater says what?
what?
Exactly.
Was there something you said?
After this conversation, my dad called to let me know she was completely lost and crying because she had no idea she was harmful and toxic. Well, then go to therapy if you don't have any self-awareness.
This is like, have you heard, like, you know the performative male joke right now?
Yeah.
This is like the flip side of the performative male, like the dark counterpart of the performative, like, toxic affair wife. Being like, oh my God, I'm so distraught. I didn't know I was toxic and harmful, and I'm so upset about it. It's like, no, you're upset you're being called out on it.
Literally. I mean, from when she had the affair, and OP was 14, she has asserted that she has not done anything wrong.
You're
and
like,
nothing
this is
her
not
fault.
my fault,
It's
actually.
not my fault. And she just can't accept faults or blame for anything. She told my brother she was sad I would make up lies and treat her that way after she'd been so nice to me. I told my dad I didn't care and that she's a self-absorbed person I don't want in my life. I'm exhausted by the gaslighting and abuse, but my dad keeps telling me it's not that bad. It's not abuse. I want to maintain no contact with her because I cannot see any solution. Is there something I'm missing here? No, keep no contact.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of are missing that it could be really funny to just bother her incessantly, but that is not the path of peace.
No, and you need the path
you
of
can
peace.
maintain no contact.
You've
You're
had
not
too
ready. You're still
much.
21. You're not ready
Yeah.
yet to fully just like bother this person while everything that they say means nothing to you. Like,
Yeah.
you're not there yet. You need a little more time in the rock tumbler before, you get polished to that level.
So true, OP. Just keep tumbling. You'll get there. You'll get there eventually. But that's the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up.
I demanded money from my brother after my pet passed away.
Was he responsible?
Let's find out. I, 20 female, and my brother, 16 male, have never gotten along. This all started years ago when I was around 10. I don't know what's in this story, but I'm putting a trigger warning for something happening to a pet right now. If you're a person who can't handle that, probably this is a risky story to listen to. Because the next sentence is, I know it's common for siblings not to get along, but this kid is a psycho.
Oh no, that's not good. Get your pets out of there.
Our arguments were always very severe. And by the way, this comes from user Amy Louv. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
And OP says, I have always been an animal lover.
I'm scared.
I just hope it's not a turtle.
What?
Because he likes turtles.
Poodles.
I don't know. Anybody else? You get to pick one.
You get to pick one?
One pet you hope it's not.
Oh, I hope it's not a dog.
Me as well. I hope
You
it's
can't
not
pick mine.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
hope
pick a
it's
different
not
one.
a bigger dog.
That's
Okay.
I don't know what size my dog was.
Fine. I hope it's not a cat.
Okay.
We've got cats, turtles, and dogs covered.
Everything else, sorry.
And all of my pets have lived long and happy lives up to this point. He, on the other hand, is not good with pets. All of his animals have turned on each other
What?
through lack of care and research. He's running the water ship down.
Got like cockfights in there.
Oh, it's the bunnies turning on each other,
Yeah, they
which
do.
actually they will do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one passage that Dakota read from.
No, I'm not even from Watership Down. Like if you
Yeah.
bunnies will get aggressively violent. with
Yeah,
each
and
other.
apparently if you put pigs, horses, and other, animals on a farm, they will start like communism or something.
And that's
And that's Watership Down.
and that's Watership Down. And Animal Farm is actually about bunnies.
Yeah, I love that movie. This led me to taking on a few of his small pets, 2 different types of hamsters, also bloodthirsty creatures. To emphasize our different views on animals, I go out of my way to rescue animals, no matter if I'm scared of them or not, while he would rather see them suffer.
What?
Okay, well, to be clear, I'm not saving a bear. I'm too
I don't want to
afraid.
see them suffer.
I don't want to. I'm gonna look away, but I'm not saving the bear because
I'm
it'll
saving the
probably
bear.
kill me.
I'm not going up to the bear, but I'm calling in,
Oh,
someone to
that's
save the
different.
bear.
Yeah, that's
You're
different.
outsourcing saving
Yeah,
the bear.
he's saying he
Exactly.
goes in the middle.
This guy's saying he'd go in and go, shh, it's okay, it's
well,
okay.
with the hamster, yeah.
Yeah.
Until how big?
No matter
How
if
big
I'm
the
scared of them
hamster?
or
What about
not.
a coyote? Fox. What about a fox?
I need
Anything that can kill me.
No,
I'm
fox,
not
I'm
going
saving the
near.
fox. Saving the fox for sure. I can take a fox. What are you
Raccoon?
talking about? Yeah, saving a
Raccoons are
raccoon.
big.
Possum.
Yeah.
Possums can get dangerous.
Anything that can't rip me apart.
Possums
can.
get ya.
No.
Anyway,
I had 6 gerbils at the start of last year from 2 different litters. 2 of them are 3 years old currently, and 4 of them would be 2 years old today.
oh no. Uh-oh. I do want to say none of the animals we said we didn't want to see, so that's something.
A few months ago, I lost one of the 2-year-old gerbils due to suspicious circumstances. The vet told me he had been fed something he shouldn't have been, and this was very strange to me because I'm so careful with what's in and around their enclosure. I've always been suspicious of my brother since then. I'm sorry, I'm visualizing a little, like, gerbil detective figuring out
I
what
always
crime.
knew there was something wrong about my brother.
It's like when
Ever
everyone leaves.
since little Petey passed away under suspicious circumstances, I've been on the trail ever since, sneaking around the shadows,
So it was actually
searching for clues.
Wait, it was actually one of the other gerbils in this situation?
Yes.
You
It's
said
like-
my brother?
Yeah,
So
well,
the gerbils are framing OP's younger
Yes.
sibling. The
it was
gerbils
from
framing them.
OP's perspective. He was talking about how he thinks his brother did it.
Yeah. What, this is from OP's perspective? No,
Yeah.
I was saying gerbil detective, like the gerbil is the detective.
Like
Oh, got
G-Force.
it.
Like a Toy Story type situation.
Or G-Force.
Or G-Force. When you say "or" in front of that movie, it sounds kind of funny. Just putting it out there. The second I brought my 2-year-old gerbils home, they would have been around 4 to 6 weeks old, he threatened to throw them down the stairs. He has made many more threats towards them since, and yesterday he finally got his wish. For context, we have 3 cats in the house.
Uh-oh.
At least it's the circle of life. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh.
At least.
Uh-oh.
Well, actually, it might not be. This has made me take extra precautions to make sure they can't get to the gerbils. The enclosure is taller than it needs to be, and I have things around the base to ensure the cats won't be able to see in. The cats weren't allowed upstairs, so the door is always shut to my room and to the stairs. Despite this, my brother always manages to let the cats up out of spite. My gerbils were playing peacefully while my cat was gently opening the door to my bedroom, so I didn't notice him. He lunged himself at the wall near the enclosure and scared 3 of my younger gerbils. Gerbils, like many small creatures, have tiny hearts.
They've got little hearts.
So cute, though, saying that.
They've got tiny little hearts.
Is this about to be like a fainting goat situation?
I think they're going to
Probably.
pass away, though.
So this can be enough to unalive them. I launched myself off my bed and grabbed my cat. I took him downstairs and found my brother. I asked if he had shut the door, and his response was, "They should be allowed upstairs. It's not my fault you decided to get gerbils." Now, do I think that the cat should be able to scare the gerbils to death? No. Do I think the cat should be allowed upstairs? Yes.
Do I think maybe we shouldn't have gerbils and cats in a house if your gerbils can be unalived by the cats?
Why aren't the gerbils in their fun little ball thing?
Yeah, why are the gerbils on the ground? Why are the gerbils
Well, they're
cages on the floor? Put them in a raised place.
Well, cats can jump. That wouldn't really help.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, but they
it'd make
don't
me
give them
feel
a
better.
platform to jump onto, you know?
They can jump high.
It'd make me feel better.
I just think if I knew I had a sibling who was a psycho, and also I had tiny little creatures that could be hurt by the other creatures in my house, I probably wouldn't get those tiny little creatures.
Not even like that, just hurt by the presence of the cat. When I came upstairs, everything seemed okay. They had stopped playing and were a little shaken up, but with everything that happened, they seemed fine. They were smoking a little gerbil cigarette to calm
They're
down.
like, oh, that was so scary.
Nobody smoke. It doesn't actually calm you down.
No, they
Makes
had
it
one of those
harder
little
to deal
bubble
with
cigarettes.
stress.
It was just bubbles.
Yeah, they had like a little gerbil candy cigarettes.
It was a little pipe with
A
bubbles.
little bubble.
And one of them was going, who do you think
Right,
let
right.
the door open? Who could it possibly have been?
Riley just slamming the red light button over there.
Doesn't work anymore.
That was
Okay.
relevant. That was relevant
Okay.
commentary.
This is too funny for us not to do. Okay. I had an over-the-phone consultation with my local vet who told me to keep an eye on the gerbils for at least 12 hours. Sometimes it won't happen instantly and could be delayed. I started watching the net of flicks and kept checking them periodically. This is when I noticed one of my gerbils suddenly becoming very slow. I thought he might be tired or something of the sort. However, when I picked him up, he was limp.
Oh no.
I tried everything to bring him back and wake him up, but it was just too late. I couldn't do any more after the hour had passed, and I had to say goodbye. The gerbil was called Swiss and was only 2 years old.
You got Swiss cheese.
No.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of like doing tiny
CPR
CPR
on
on
a
a gerbil.
That's sad.
This is sad.
Ugh.
This is sad.
This is sad.
Would I be more sad if the cat had a heart attack? Yes.
Whoa.
All animals have equal value of life, Dakota.
Yeah, Dakota.
That is factually incorrect, but we're going to move on. When I checked him moments before, he was fine. However, shock can unalive a gerbil almost instantly at any point within those 12 hours.
Dang.
At midnight, I found myself crying at the table downstairs whilst wrapping my gerbil up and putting him in a small box to bury in the garden.
Aww.
My partner, 20 male, was on the phone with me while this was all happening.
This is really sad. It really sucks to lose like any animal, you know. But I do think don't buy any more gerbils.
True. You live in a house with cats that can the cats didn't even get to the gerbils. Just the presence of the... You know what? I'm starting to think that maybe your lack of building a tolerance to the cat might be partially responsible for these gerbil heart attacks. You know, because they got a big dose of cat all at the same time.
They'd never seen that cat.
And it's
Yeah.
like, if you would have just trickled the cat exposure in, and then they would
Maybe.
know, oh, I'm in this cage, the cat
Yeah.
is a non-issue, this large creature.
I'm always very impressed by people who have like guinea pigs and gerbils and hamsters because they seem to understand them in ways that I just don't get. Like they'll be holding them and the gerbil or the guinea pig will be like, and they're like, oh, it's happy. And then like 2 seconds later, it's like, and they're like, oh, it's angry. I'm like, what? That gerbil just said the same thing. There was not a note of difference. What do you mean? They're like, oh, it's having a heart attack. What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure if you saw a gerbil happy and a gerbil having a heart attack, you'd know the difference.
I don't know.
No.
It might look very
It looks
similar, honestly.
It looks, and when I say, I just mean like they get scared or like happy. They
Yeah.
look the same.
I'm remembering all of my hamster/gerbil interactions I've had in my life, and it is
And
pretty
the owners-
homogenous.
The
way that
owners are
they-
like always like, oh, you can't hold it. Oh, you can. It likes that now. I'm like, what do you mean? So I just
Although-
never touch them because I'm scared of them.
and demanded my brother pay for the gerbil I lost due to his negligence when it comes to leaving doors open that he has been told to shut. My mother was not happy with this at all. Neither would I be. She called me into her room and told me that it was all my fault and that they are my gerbils, so I should be responsible for shutting doors in the house. I tried to argue that it's impossible if I'm not aware my brother has left a door open on a completely different floor of the house, but she was having none of it. She told me to grow up and leave them both alone. This morning, the argument started again. She asked me if I was okay, and I simply replied with no and carried on with my morning routine. She scoffed and walked away. Then my brother came out of his room, and I reminded him of the money he now owes me, £10. She told him he didn't owe me anything and to just ignore me. I reminded both of them that I didn't even get an apology. My brother went on to explain that he thought I was lying about my gerbil being unalived and that I just wanted the money. He told me he'd pay me the money if I showed him proof. I told him I wouldn't be digging up my beloved pet all for a bit of money. After a while of a screaming match, he finally coughed up the money and told me to leave it or he would unalive all of my gerbils.
Oh, okay, yikes.
Not a cool vibe.
Bad.
My mother chipped in and said I'm lucky she doesn't boot me out of the house and kept reminding me that it was all my fault. Which, do I think it's all your fault? Do I think it could have been entirely prevented by you alone? Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Your brother didn't sneak in and throw the cat in your room and then close the door while you were gone. You were there.
I think OP's just upset she lost a pet.
It's upsetting. Little gerbil heart attack. My mother said she would decide if I needed to leave when she gets back from work. Yikes. Since she left, I've received the money from my brother along with many threatening texts from him and texts from my mother telling me I'm in the wrong and I shouldn't own pets. So here's my question. Am I wrong for blaming my brother as opposed to my cat for the passing of my gerbil? You're wrong on both of those.
Yeah.
Am I wrong for demanding my brother pays me for the loss of my beloved pet? Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
But should you be kicked out because of this?
No, but
that's
also-
ridiculous.
Blame yourself. I'm sorry.
You
You gotta blame yourself.
I think that his reaction after everything of being like, I'm gonna unalive your other ones, that's crazy. Not cool.
Right,
All of
of
his
course.
reactions after, not okay.
You knew that your little gerbils had little hearts that could be heart attack. So maybe they shouldn't have been in a cage on the ground where if the cat got into your room, because even, accidents happen. This
Yeah.
definitely wasn't an accident, and he definitely let the cat upstairs on purpose, but I don't know. Close your door, keep the door closed.
Yeah. Like your brother
If you're
kinda
aware
sucks.
that you own
Really sucks.
animals that are that delicate, then you gotta own 100% of the responsibility of keeping them safe.
Yeah.
Some small context for the story here. I thought I would give a little bit more context to clear up anything that may have needed more information. My mother has always defended his behavior and always stood by him. Sounds like she also doesn't like gerbils. My father, on the other hand, is lovely and has never meant to do this. I don't live with my dad after he got removed from the house the day he returned home from his cancer surgery and month-long stay in the hospital.
What?
Wait,
You just said you were going to give us more information and you're not going to explain that?
that's crazy. That's super relevant information to why your mom is like out of the blue trying to kick you out or trying to punch you out of the house. Now you're telling me that she already did that with your dad because he was in the hospital for a month?
What happened? Just the cold-heartedness that, like, even if that's like he
Yeah.
gets back from the hospital after having cancer and then she's like, I can't do this. It's like, you're actually disgusting for that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
to
sorry.
kick
For-
someone out?
For sickness and health,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
You're
you know,
you're
people can
gross for
have,
that if that's what that was.
Like, at least
Maybe
figure
he, like,
out some sort of live-in situation first.
had an affair with the nurse. Something. The doctor.
I got no clue.
I don't know. Okay. I have 2 locks for the bedroom door ordered, one being for the inside of my bedroom door and the other for the outside, both lockable with keys. I have yet to tell my mother about this. However, I shall leave an update if all goes well.
See, that's what I was thinking. That's the best way to do this.
Yeah, just have a door that locks.
Yeah.
As for moving out, I have been looking for places to stay, but while still being in college, this is very difficult. I'm hoping the lock will be enough while I'm waiting for a place and a stable income I could live off. To clear up any confusion about the cats living in the house, we have a rule that applies to everyone that they need to be shut downstairs and not allowed in the bedroom section of the house. This is to prevent more than just harmed my gerbils. My brother seems to be the only one that ignores this. The door is very secure. Yes, I know my animals are my responsibility, and I fully accept that. Doesn't sound like it. However, the cats don't belong to just me and are shared with all 3 in the house. Hence why we still have a door to the hall leading to the stairs, which my brother refused to shut. My bedroom door had only been left open to make sure the gerbils didn't get heat stroke, as it was nearing 35 degrees Celsius in my room, and it's important to keep the room ventilated.
Then you got to get them a little fan.
You gotta do something.
You
dude.
got to get them a little fan in there.
Small update and response to some comments. I was going to tell my dad I wanted a lock put on my door, but he called me to tell me he was going to take me to a shop to get a more sturdy lock for my door. Pop lock and drop it. Rather than having a lock on both sides screwed in, easy to just pull off of the door or unscrew, he was going to get me a lock like our bathroom. It locks from both sides, keeping me away from my brother more as well as the animals. It works by having a turning lock for the inside, no key required, and a key for the outside so I can lock it while I'm not there. This means I can also lock it while I'm asleep. It works by locking the door handle up rather than something within the door sliding like a normal house door. Thanks for that. I told my mother about the lock situation. She flipped. She tried to hide it momentarily, and then when she couldn't any longer, started screaming at me for thinking of violating her home and that apparently I had no right. I don't
What?
pay to live with her. She wanted me to, but I told her that when I'm treated like a human being, I would maybe give her a small cut. However, I told her no after my brother started making more threats about me and started actively convincing her to exile me. There was some shame directed at me for bringing animals into the situation in the comments. If I had known my brother would be this bad, of course I wouldn't have gotten them in the first place. However, I couldn't predict what was going to happen weeks and years after I had gotten them. There were no hints this would happen, as he's never said he was going to harm an animal, let alone unalive it or purposely leave a door open to try to achieve this.
Okay,
I think that's such a stretch.
I do think that you could have predicted a little bit.
Yeah, to be like,
That at
there's
least
no
the
way I
cats
could
could
have
po- yeah.
known.
Like just that the cats might get into your room and scare your gerbils. I feel like that could have been predicted a little bit.
Still don't feel like we're taking any responsibility for that.
Yeah.
And your brother can also be bad, and you can take responsibility for what happened.
I feel like you need to move out. Seems like nobody really wants you here, and that sucks.
I don't think they can move out.
I know, but I feel like we need to like start.
Trying
Trying.
hard. Try hard to move out. I will, however, take full responsibility for my door being open. I once again couldn't have guessed that my brother would actually do this knowing my door was open. There were reasons as to why my door was open. It was to create a small draft for the gerbils so they didn't get too hot. If I could go back and change literally anything about all of this, it would be to shut my door. No animal lover you ask would honestly tell you that they would have decided against getting an animal because they love the pet way too much. However, in that moment, if I had known, I would have heavily weighed everything up and decided my dad's would have been the best place to keep them. Before anyone asks, no, I can't just move the gerbils now. This is an environment they're used to. They've also gotten used to me and become very tame. If I suddenly move them, any bond of trust and comfort I've built up would shatter.
Okay, well, I feel like we can still move them. It just might take a little bit of work.
I posit that if just moving them to your dad's would obliterate any bond of trust or comfort that has been built up, there's not really anything there.
Well, I feel like
Not right?
no. Well, no. Gerbils and like from what I know about guinea pigs, which I'm assuming they're somewhat similar. Like, yeah, they are very finicky and what are you? What?
You're telling
Very
me
different.
the gerbils
How?
have the ability to know
In what ways
that
are they
you
different?
moved them, and it's like, you, my betrayer.
Right.
I will not give you the happy squeaks ever again.
They're different.
How?
Gerbils are like this big, and guinea pigs are like,
I'm aware.
Boom.
I know it's size wise they're different, but I'm saying that their demeanors are similar.
Would you say a
I would
fox and a
say-
ferret are the same thing?
a fox and a
What?
parrot.
A fox and a ferret. Fair.
A fox and a.
Okay. My point is that with guinea pigs, you can't like it's hard to just move them to different places. You have to get them accustomed to them. However, when the alternative is decease, when is passing away,
Sorry.
then yeah, you should move them.
I'm just dying because there's all these comments being like, you can absolutely move gerbils.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's just
and that
like
will not do anything adverse to them.
no, they might be like a little bit like
Uh,
scared or something, but my point is like
Lisa-
there's no way that that's harder than them like passing away.
Yeah, in your heat stroke room apparently. Lisa Baumgartner was like, I'm in vet school learning about all this right now, and they
Yeah.
are not that sensitive. This is overboard.
Yeah, because then you would never be able to bring them to the vet if that were true.
It's like, yeah. I don't like, again, I'm not liking anybody in this story right now. Okay, but we're coming up to the end. Let's go. I moved some gerbils in with my dad, my older 3, so I could decorate my room. I did this for a week so the fumes could be let out and they would be safe from the cats. When they came back, they didn't recognize my smell or the smell of the room. They were unsettled for weeks and kept me up at night. Slowly, they built up some trust with me, but some of their old habits never returned. For everyone telling me to move out, that's the plan. However, I'm a student. I need to finish my education for a good job in order to support myself in the future. That's adorable. Finishing college is the only way I'm going to be able to do that. My dad and I have planned for me to move in for 2 years. My mother booted him out after he got cancer, which led to our relationship breaking down. So she did do that. She sucks. She's the worst.
Yikes. Your mom sucks.
For me and my dad's plan to go ahead, I need money for a car. My dad would charge me rent while I got settled, and it wouldn't be like living with a parent, more like a bedsit or small flat with a landlord. The whole of the upstairs wouldn't be mine, just enough so I have everything I need to live. In the UK, the prices for homes and to rent are getting worse and worse each year. By the way, it just keeps getting better and better. That is the amount of episodes you can listen to, full episodes, in fact, with stories like this on your favorite podcast platform. Just search OK Storytime wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can listen to over 71 days worth of stories.
Wow. Yeah, OP, I don't know if you know a lot about gerbils.
Honeybee85 says, gerbils are nocturnal.
That's what I was
Of
thinking.
course they will keep her awake.
My first thought was that again, I only have experience with guinea pigs,
Ugh.
but they're up all night. I don't
Oh, no.
understand.
If I wanted to move out before I could, I would end up miles away from my workplace, college, and my partner, all while not being able to get a car. I need to think logically about that rather than move the second I have money for a house or flat, which would also take a lot more time than if I was just to move in with my dad, get a bike. Get a bike, use a bus.
Bike,
Use
bus,
it.
public transport.
Get out of here and then figure it out. You
Yes.
do not have, there's no such thing as having everything figured out right at the perfect time and then you do it. Get out of the house.
Out.
Figure out the car situation. Yeah, having to ride a bike every day will really motivate you to get enough money to get a car. As for the "you're 20, just move out" comments, plenty of 20-year-olds have to live with their parents now due to housing prices being so bad. If you're fresh out of uni or college and are on minimum wage, this just isn't affordable. Some unis even offer housing as part of the price or give aid to students who will be further from home and still have no other option. After that, the majority of them move back in with their parents. I haven't gotten any pets in over 2 years, so I haven't gotten any more since this all started to get worse. The cats are around 10 and 11 years old. I didn't purchase them, so technically have no say over what they do, but my mother does, as she was the one who purchased them. She is also a terrible owner and has me paying for a ton of the vet bills, or they wouldn't get specific treatments they need to have. I am reminded of my lack of ownership daily, and that is the end of that story. Stop paying the vet bills.
I'm sorry, if your mom says, hey, I need you to pay rent, and your response was, I'll pay rent when I start getting treated like a human being, then when she says, hey, I need you to pay for the vet bills, then your response is, I'll pay for the vet bills when I own the cats. Why couldn't you do that time?
Well, because it's like OP is like, when the
I just
animals
care about the
in
animals.
need,
You gotta help the animals. Well,
But,
would she
like-
not pay for them if you didn't?
we have to be able
Probably
to
not.
Probably not.
prioritize ourself first. We have to. If that money you're spending on vet bills for the cats that you, I guess, I mean, you don't hate, but you're more pro gerbil than you are pro cat.
Seemingly. You gotta use that to move out.
You gotta
Start saving
save
up.
the
'Cause
money.
vet bills are expensive.
No
so-
excuses. Go move in with your dad and pay that little slice of rent and be further away from school. Adjust. It'd be better than living with, in an environment where, it seems like everyone's out to get each other. Everyone's out to get you.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
You are the gerbil and they are the cats.
So true.
Yeah. You don't want to have a tiny heart attack.
Nope.
But that's the end of that story and the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you and
And
see you tomorrow.